Listen to those coyotes.
Throughout the night, you hear bunches of coyotes howling like crazy.
Normally, when you hear coyotes like that, it means they've just killed something.
They stay away from the fire, right?
Most of the time.
For thousands of years, man lived wild, and our triumph over Mother Nature defined who we were. We were rugged, we were strong. And as we evolved, our ingenuity led to towering achievements. We secured our place at the top of the food chain, and now we have the waistline to prove it. I'm Creek Stewart. I'm a survivalist, and this is your midlife wake-up call. So get off the couch and come out to the woods. If you can survive a week with me, you can take on anything. Survival is simple. Just don't die.
We are deep in the valley of the Great Smoky Mountains where several waterways converge.
I've got 3 guys on their way to the edge of the wilderness.
You guys have any outdoors experience? Maybe shoveling some cows, you know, rolling out a bale of hay. That's about as outdoors as I get.
We will exploit the resources around these waterways while also using some modern-day survival tools to get through what I'm sure will be a very unpredictable week.
I'm a city boy. I'm from New York, so the only outdoors experience I have are subway rides.
Joseph Murillo is 19 years old and spends 8+ hours a day playing video games and blogging.
Hold that thought. Are we really going through the heck?
But this pattern has left him idle and uninspired.
If I wanted to like exercise, I exercise my fingers and play like Guitar Hero or something like that.
Morning.
Morning.
Joe, pleasure, brother.
Sir.
Boy, I hope I don't have to carry you out on a stretcher. Zach Saxon is a 26-year-old from Florida. At the age of 11, his feet were left crippled from a rare bone disease.
I spent a little over 3 years in a wheelchair.
Even though I'm a big guy now, I was bullied a lot.
But this week, he's come to the woods to prove that he can stand on his own 2 feet.
The layers may have been a bad idea.
You must be Opie.
The Mighty Creek.
Opie Cooper is a fellow Eagle Scout with a deep love for the outdoors. But now, with a desk job, his scouting days are just a faint memory of his active past.
I want to remember how much fun I can have working hard at something.
Welcome to the edge of the wilderness, gentlemen.
Awesome.
You made it across the river.
Yeah.
I think water is going to be the theme of our week. I'm going to teach you everything I know about surviving in this river valley over the course of the week. But then on your last day, you're going to strike out solo, and you're going to do it all alone.
I'm so screwed.
Are you guys ready for what will be a very wet week?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
All right, before we take off, I've got each of you guys a backpack. Inside of these packs are several items that we'll be using to meet basic survival priorities throughout the week. First and foremost, it's a steel water container. Next, you have a knife. And then to process wood faster, you get a saw.
I'm only arming these guys with the bare necessities now, but I've got some cool tips and tricks up my sleeve for later.
This looks like it's going to be a big change for me in a way. I mean, yes, I do live on a farm, but being out here completely away from everything is something I'm looking forward to try and overcome my obstacles.
Ready to head up this valley?
Sir,
Let's do this.
Follow me.
He's like the survivalist Moses. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it.
One good thing about the water, guys, is all wildlife has to drink. Water is one of our top survival priorities. But this week, these guys will still have to provide themselves with shelter, fire, and food. And any 3 of those can be very difficult to secure in this environment. Now, we can't get a base camp this close to water, you know, it's just too darn wet. And if it were to rain more, I mean, that creek could easily come up in this bank, you know. We've got to get a little bit higher.
I'm okay. So I'm an Eagle Scout who has not been in the woods forever. I've lost connection with the outdoors and instead found a connection with the internet and donuts, which have not helped me with my weight. Like you said, so getting my forest legs back is actually one of the first big challenges I think I'm going to have here. I'm sure it'll come around soon, I hope.
That's an interesting little spot up there.
This right here?
Yeah, up on top of here. It's up. It's not right next to the water, you know, so we're not going to get the moisture from being down in that riverbed. We've got a lot of work to make it feel like home, but I think it'll do us good.
She's a tough one.
Each guy is going to build his own shelter. So let's each pick a spot. The first step is we've got to build our bedding area, the base of the framework.
Knot tying was always one of my favorite parts in Boy Scouts.
Got it.
How you feeling, Joe?
It's harder than I thought.
Think of it as beating level 1 on the great outdoors.
Yeah.
Well, now's the time when we need to kind of organize these around a mock fire pit. But before we do that, we need to get these 2 dead trees out of the way. Zach?
Yeah?
You're already on it.
All right.
Holy crap.
Wow, dude. That just happened.
I'm just going to put this away because clearly we don't need...
Did you have your saw out? Oh, my God.
Up until 21 years old, I spent almost every year with at least 1 cast on either foot. The fact that I can be out here, that I can tackle 2 trees down to the ground like it's nothing and still be able to stand, it makes me feel good inside, and hopefully people will realize that I'm not as disabled as some people think I am.
Next step, guys, is we utilize river cane to make archways and a little dome on top of our bedding area. Kind of at an angle, Joe, like a downward angle. Yeah, good, perfect.
Being around the guys, I feel like they have a little more experience than I do.
Perfect.
They're both Southerners compared to me as a city boy.
You ever did this in the Bronx?
Nope. Our shelters are bricks. So, you know, that'll be another challenging part of the trip is to try to keep up.
I'm sure you guys have seen these before. An emergency survival blanket. We're each going to line the back side of our shelters. And what that's going to do is when the heat from our fire comes through the front of our shelter, it's going to hit this Mylar blanket and drive right down on top of us. All right, guys, each of you gets a roll of plastic. It's got to be clear. It's got to let that infrared heat in. And Joe?
Yep.
It's got to look pretty, man.
We took river cane, some metal-like fabric, and plastic, and I just built the Holiday Inn, more or less. That is really cool.
That's what I'm talking about. That's freaking cozy, man. Hickory, what's up, brother?
Oh, this is awesome.
You know, as cozy as these shelters are, we are going to have fire tonight because at 2 a.m. in the morning, the temperature is not going to be what it is right now. We're going to be freezing. Everything is soaking wet. It's been misting and annoying rain all day long, and that makes starting a fire so difficult. Hand over those tinder bundles. Let's put all of our cards on the table here. What do we got? Especially with the method that I have in mind. Time for the secret fire-starting weapon. A fire piston.
Creek brings us something called a fire piston.
We're going to take a little bit of tinder. We're going to put it on the tip of this piston, and we're going to plunge that. Believe it or not, when you compress air that fast, the temperature in there can ignite that tinder. Now, in conditions like these, it becomes very difficult to get that done. We're going to take a little piece of this tinder fungus. We're going to put that on the very end of our piston. We'll let Zach try the first couple of plunges.
All right.
Okay? And the best way to do this is to hold this right here.
Okay.
And pound it down on this rock.
Okay.
Pull it out.
That's all I've got. Anything?
Is it even warm?
Nothing. Punch it a little harder.
Thinking to myself, gotta do this. We're losing daylight. You know, it's getting colder by the second. Nothing. Trying to do anything I can to get an ember so we can get a fire going.
You kind of fuzz it up a little bit. On the inside, I'm freaking out a little bit. Tinder fungus is an amazing fire-starting tool because it's so porous.
It absorbs moisture quickly.
Yeah. This stuff is like a sponge. I'm beginning to think that this tinder fungus has just soaked up too much moisture today. This fire piston may not work.
No, nothing.
Zach's tried this fire piston a couple of times?
Nothing.
I'm beginning to think that this tinder fungus has just soaked up too much moisture today.
I think I could probably give it more punch with my hand.
Okay. You know, I always use fire piston the same exact way. I slam it down on a rock. But you know what? If Zach thinks he can get a better shot at it using his hands, go for it. And you want to give it a really nice, solid action, man.
Oh, yeah.
Blow on it just a little bit. Okay. Dude, I can't believe you freaking got it. Hold on, I'm shaking. I'm so nervous. All right. I'm going to take that ember. It looks like a little cigarette, doesn't it? We're not home yet, guys. Okay, Opie. Now I want you to really gently see if you can drive that ember. See how it's growing? A little bit more. A little bit more. Great job, Opie. Great job, man. I'll take this for 1 second. Yeah, look at that. Now I want you to blow right into that redness.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Joe makes fire.
Fire likes to climb.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out, buddy. Look what you did.
The feeling great about, getting the fire started, and for me, especially not having no experience at all, like that was like the greatest accomplishment.
Guys, I'm feeling like this fire's alive. Great job on the embers, Zach.
Yeah, it made my day, Just happy to be warm.
Tonight, we've earned a good night's rest. There is nothing like crawling into a warm shelter after a brutal day's work.
Quite comfy and spacious.
I think the best part about this shelter, though, is I don't have to deal with any other guys all up in my business and keeping me up snoring all night long. Guys, I can't even describe to you the huge score I just found.
Just when I started crawling out of bed, Creek got really excited and called us over. And what I saw was him pulling what looked like a human toe out of the ground. Wasn't a human toe, grosser.
This is some kind of a beetle larvae, and I'll tell you what, this is one of the largest I've seen in North America. I mean, you just don't find them this big very often. This right here is a true delicacy. I mean, like nature's scrambled eggs right there.
Yeah, I'm not eating this.
Thought maybe we'd just roast them on this river cane.
Whoa. There's slightly more blood in there than I thought there would be. It's a large, giant cannoli filled with bug guts.
But this guy right here, in all seriousness, is nothing but fat and protein.
Growing up in the South and doing the whole Explorer Scout thing, I have eaten many insects. What I have never eaten is a grub large enough to eat me back. Look at that.
Somebody want to slice this thing into quarters?
Gentlemen?
Cheers.
Well?
It tastes like a pork rind.
Oh, no.
Eat that. Right?
It tastes like bacon.
Cheers, mate. Definitely tastes like a pork rind.
It's no joke out here. Like, my stomach is punching me in the face right now. And I'm watching the other guys eat it, and they're like, yeah, this is yummy. I just, threw it in. Definitely tastes like bacon fat.
Man. Why don't we refill our canteens? We'll bring those back later to boil, but let's walk around a little bit and look and just see what we find, just like we just found that grub. This is our drinking water.
It looks quite refreshing.
Well, even though it looks clear, it could be potentially full of microbiological organisms. Animals pooping in the river, dying in the river. Even though we've had a little bit of grub this morning, it's definitely not enough to keep us going all week long. So we have to strike out and start looking for more wild edibles. This is exactly what I'm looking for. This right here, these are acorns. Actually, I grew up being told that these are poisonous. But in fact, these were a staple of the diet of a lot of Native American Indians.
In Central Park in New York, we have acorns, all over the parks and everything. So, I step on those things daily and don't even think about it as being food.
The problem with these is that they are incredibly bitter. Like, they'll make your mouth pucker and make your stomach hurt. So we've got to leach out what's called tannins, which is kind of an acid. Acorns aren't something that you just want to pop in your mouth and eat like a walnut. It's freaking bitter, right? I mean, no joke.
I can't even describe it.
I know. It's definitely going to take a little bit of time to crack all these guys open. We're going to let the river leach those tannins out for us. Tomorrow, we'll boil them up and make a nutritious acorn gruel. And by that time, all those nasty, bitter tannins should be leached out of there. So now, guys, I want to head upstream. I've got an idea in mind on how we can catch fish, but we've got to find a very specific spot.
Hey, Creek, man.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling too well. Having a little chest pressure in the center of my chest.
You having chest pressure?
Yeah.
You okay?
I don't know. It feels like somebody has their fist against my chest.
That's not good, dude.
It was definitely a nerve-wrenching moment when you think about it, you know, being out here in the middle of nowhere, miles from any hospital or any doctor.
That's one thing I do not take lightly in the woods, man, especially being so far away from help.
Hey, Creek, man. Having a little chest pressure.
That's one thing I do not take lightly in the woods, man, especially being so far away from help. Charles, we need to get our medic in here.
Having like these chest pressuring pains, sort of.
And you've never had a history of this before?
Never.
All right. Well, you're young, and it's something serious. We need to take you to the hospital and get checked out. Come with us. We'll get you in the UTV. We'll take you back to the warming tent. Let me get some vital signs on you, and then we'll get you to the hospital.
Joe is absolutely not a quitter, but sometimes random things happen with your body, and it's important to get medical attention and get them checked out. In this case, that was the moment for Joe. Well, guys, it's just us. Right now, we can't stop, man. We got to keep moving. You know, we still have priorities. Just because Joe's on his way to the hospital doesn't mean we get to take a break. There's a little minnow.
Well, that'll hold you for a while, Opie.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we were able to find something bigger than that. In fact, we probably have to work a little bit harder and pick up the slack. How your ankles doing, Zach?
They're doing all right. With this terrain, you know, being on a rocky river, that is something I am going to be very cautious about because I don't want to wind up in the hospital as well.
This right here is a perfect natural choke point to catch any fish coming downstream. And a lot of times, primitives would create what's called a stone weir, where they would take rocks and basically create a funnel effect. And then in that spot, they would put some type of a net. We can easily do this, but then we have to make a net.
Now, by make a net, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do, where we'll get the string from, where we'll get the net parts for it.
And the cool thing is most of the work is done right back at camp.
I don't know where this is all going to come from, but if it's anything like yesterday, he'll make it out of, I don't know, tree sap or something.
All right, so we're going to use this vine to make the circular frame to this net. See how flexible this is?
Look at that. Everything connects here.
Have you guys ever gutted paracord? There are 7 of these little strands inside of this 550 paracord. So about every 1 inch or so, we're going to bring the loop over through that loop, and we're going to tie what's called a lark's head. And we're just going to leave all those dangling for now. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, this takes patience. But with 3 of us working, we should have this net done at least by day 5.
Ah, that's perfect.
We're going to take the interior of 2 separate strands. We're going to tie them both in an overhand knot. We've got to work along that line all the way around, and then we go to the next level.
Man, this is going to take us quite a while to do this.
But just imagine how rewarding it's going to feel when we catch fish with a net we wove with our own bare hands. Tell you what, guys, I think we are done.
I tie this knot in the name of Joe.
Nicely said.
So tomorrow we set our net, and then we go get our leached acorns. So we've got 1 guaranteed meal tomorrow.
So let's see here. If I'm doing my math correctly, we'll get 1 meal per day until we leave.
1 kind of meal.
This kind of sucks because all we've eaten today was this grubby thing.
By the time we hike there and build that dam and then set this net and get back, it's definitely going to be dark.
We were kind of hoping to have it set up and maybe have some fish by the end of the day, or at the very least, have fish waiting for us for breakfast. That is now out.
So in the meantime, why don't we load up on firewood?
I'm feeling pretty hungry. You know, it is unsure if we're going to catch any fish at all, but, you know, I'm going to try and stay positive. See if we can find some grubs in here.
Tomorrow, the hard work begins.
Good thing we've eaten well, otherwise this would be tiring.
We have to literally build a dam by hand, and so far, we've only had 1/4 of a small grub each.
Your technique is flawless.
And I just hope these guys can hang in there to see the reward of all their labor working on this net.
I was getting so frustrated last night. Something had to be done about this wind.
What knot would you use to start this?
Clothes. Just make an X and go through the middle.
So last night the wind was blowing really bad and the smoke was just pouring into my tent. So Zach had this idea of making a fence.
Beautiful. Now we have a wind block / dressing curtain.
Usually, after 2 days of intense farm work, I'm laying up in bed for a half a week. When I was 11 years old, I had a bone disorder, which led me to become completely bed and wheelchair bound for a little over a year.
Hey, look at you.
Yeah, I didn't have as much slack, but I made it work. I'm definitely feeling really great with myself that my feet have held up this long. And with this sunlight, we have a beautiful place that we can bronze off of.
Perfect. Brilliant.
We should start thinking about heading out here pretty soon.
Sounds good. Let's get these boots tied.
Well.
What's up, guys?
Look who it is.
Joe!
This guy.
You're alive, man.
I'm alive.
Game on.
Game on. Once I knew that everything was okay, I felt like, all right, you know, like, don't take the cheap way out. I had an opportunity to be reunited with my phone, and I turned it down. If I want to make this life change, I have to stay committed. Everything came back negative.
Awesome.
They just said I'm a city boy and high in the mountains, and
Oh, really?
not used to this thin air that they got here. So what did I miss?
Check it.
Nice.
Check out the net, man. You made it just in time this morning. We're getting ready to haul out. We're getting ready to go build a dam.
Let's do it. Hey, Creek.
Yeah,
Feels good to be back, man.
good for you to be back. All right, perfect. Here's our spot, Joe. We're going to put our net right at a funnel point right here in this little deeper spot. We're going to pile up rocks and funnel fish on each side.
I'll go ahead and get started on this side here.
Okay, that'll
My
work.
boots aren't quite as waterproof as y'all, so if I can bring rocks over to you.
Yeah, just bring over big chunky rocks, man. Oh my gosh, that's a great footer, man. Let's use that as like a foundation.
Tired, cold, and wet aside, my main motivation for being out here was to get active again.
Victory!
If you can build your own shelter, if you can build a dam, I can sure as hell kick the out of a treadmill.
Beautiful. All right, guys, these look awesome, man. I think we're ready to put our net in.
Nice.
Awesome. Just as an added precaution, I'm going to brace it with a piece of this river cane.
Nice.
I think this is going to catch a fish, man.
Yeah.
Now we're ready to step away from this thing, let it work passively for us all night long. Multiply our fish, Opie.
Fat Guy Dam. May ye catch us many fish.
So now we're ready to go collect the acorns that we have leaching downstream and boil up a mug of that acorn gruel. All right, let's go have some acorn gruel.
Sounds good. I found a nice grill for our...
Oh, dude, that's
gruel.
awesome. That's like a whole kitchen table, man. All right. Oh, yeah.
Well, that looks like cow. Oh, man.
When Creek smashed up the acorns yesterday, just looked kind of like chunked up walnuts. And of course, after a day of soaking, we opened that bag up. Man, that looks just like some chunky cow.
It's still a little chunky.
I don't think this is happening. I'm not feeling too easy about it. I'm a visual eater, so to see that gruel looks like baby poop.
Dude, you ate a grub, man.
Yeah, sure. but a grub looks better than that.
Well, here's how we're going to make it, guys. We're going to split it 4 ways.
3.5.
3.5, okay, fair enough. We're going to put that in our mugs, and then we're going to mix it with water, and then we're going to bring it to a boil, let it cool off, and it should be good to eat. Here, pass this around. We're going to make like a little spoon stir stick. Just cut out a section, flatten off the end, and then just shape it into a spoon.
Hey!
It doesn't get any more simple than that, you know? Bon appetit.
Yeah, bon appetit, man.
It has a very interesting flavor. Give it a shot, brother.
Oh, man.
Go for it. It's not that bad, man. I wouldn't lie to you. It's got a little bit of a nutty flavor.
Yeah, it definitely has nuts in it. It was missing some salt, pepper, any other seasoning, but, you know, other than that, it wasn't that bad.
And the warmth is definitely good.
Acorn gruel is awesome, but it still looks like...
Here's to our fish trap bringing in a load of fish for dinner tomorrow, man.
Here. Here's to the acorn gruel.
Hear ye.
Dang, listen to those coyotes.
It's intense.
Those are close.
Throughout the night, you hear bunches of coyotes howling like crazy, all different hours of the night, every night since we've been here.
It sounds like 100 of them.
Sounds like a bunch of kids screaming.
It was a big pack of coyotes, man.
They stay away from the fire, right?
Most of the time. Normally, when you hear coyotes like that, it means they've just killed something.
So they won't be hungry later.
Right.
I'm not scared. I got my knife. I'm good.
If you're in an area that has river cane and you've gotten lost, I'm going to show you how to make a river cane signaling whistle, just like this one right here. The first step is to cut out a section of this river cane. One end has to be closed off, so I'm going to cut it just above this joint. Then I'm just going to go down a few inches. I'm going to cut this in half. This is the part that goes in your mouth. There's a little notch that we're going to cut here that has a flat part, and that faces the back of the whistle. We need to find a small branch that's about the same diameter as this hollow tube. It's perfect right there. Now on this plug, we've got to shave the top off so that we've got a little channel of air along the top of this whistle. Being able to make one of these in just a couple of minutes in the wild could very well save your life one day.
What's the secret to getting out of this gracefully?
There isn't one. You just got to roll out. I say we put some wood on this fire and head upstream and check that net.
Let's do this.
I want to do that first thing this morning, man. I've been thinking about this thing all night long. I've never built a trap in this way, so this is a first for me, and I'm really excited to see if it pans out.
Man, I'm hoping we got some fish in there because, boy, am I hungry. I can feel this belly up.
Brace you to the fish.
Let's do this.
4 days with just some acorn gruel, and a maggot is getting to us.
Man, I'm getting hungry. I hope we got some fish down there.
When we show up, there's nothing in this net. My tummy's going to get a little bit more upset.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling there's something in there.
See what we got here.
Moment of truth, fellas. Bunch of leaves.
Can we go ahead and check it on out?
Yeah, pull it out.
See what we got here.
Moment of truth, fellas.
Can we go ahead and check it on out?
Yeah, pull it out.
Oh, we got 2 big ones.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Look at that. Oh, yeah. We could eat that puppy
Dude,
alone.
that's a trout, man.
Oh, speckled trout.
No joke.
And as an appetizer,
It's like a little sunfish.
look at this guy.
Seeing that fish flapping around, like my heart dropped. I was like, this is something I know. This is something I'm definitely going to eat.
You're eating fish tonight, Joe.
Yeah, seriously, man.
I can't wait to start this feast. Let's get back to the campfire quick, you know?
We should clean these right here by the water and just take them back ready to cook.
Okay. Sounds good.
Opie, you've got a lot of fish cleaning experience, man.
Want to do the big one
I'll
first?
be happy to do the honors.
All right, man.
I love fish. I do a lot of fishing, do a lot of camping and catching stuff. I know trout. I know this is tasty. All you have to do is gut it. You don't have to get the scales off or anything. You can eat almost all of it. I am super excited. Oh, and it cooks really fast.
Joe, you ready? This guy's ready for you.
Ready to get down to it.
God, what a beautiful fish.
I'm Joe the fish cleaner.
I think since Joe's stint to the hospital, he's been looking for an opportunity to prove himself here in the woods. Good.
Good job, buddy.
Now get your fingers in there. He jumped in, grabbed a hold of that sunfish, and did a great job, first time ever, cleaning a fish. Get in there and get it.
How many of your friends have done that?
None.
You're not doing it right until you get some scales on your face. I can't get back to camp fast enough.
Let's go eat.
Let's go eat.
So what do we got going on here?
We're going to rack and cook this trout. Fish is a really delicate meat, and it's hard to control the heat over a campfire anyway. A couple of skewers in here. So cooking the trout on this racket-style platform will help to make sure that we don't burn it, but yet it's still cooked all the way through.
That's that, boss.
Beautiful. Now we wait. All right, I think we're done, fellas.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hello, beauty.
Oh, my gosh, man. Why don't we just go around this way, man? Let's just taste them. Go, Zach.
Very smoky and delicious.
No, just give me a second.
Have at it, man.
It's got to be delicious.
Oh, it's melting away. This is definitely the best fish I've ever had in my life, and it might be because I'm hungry, but I'm pretty sure it's just incredible. I'm going to save this other eyeball for you.
So you have to suck the eyeball out?
Well, there's 4 eyes.
Yeah.
4 eyes, 4 guys.
Kind of put it in your mouth like this and go.
Well, considering how hungry I think we all were, and that, you know, we don't want any of this fish to go to waste, we went all for it.
I'm getting ready to eat the fish chip. I'm going to go for the tail.
Oh, he gets the fish chip.
I had a couple eyeballs. I ate the tail. I had a fin. I had the skin.
Cheers to the skin. Skin cheers.
Skin cheers. Hashtag skin cheers.
I'm just like, what the hell? I'm out here in the sticks. I might as well eat this whole damn fish.
Did you eat the bone?
I tell you what, guys, that's exactly what we needed going into tomorrow. Tomorrow's solo day, man. Tomorrow, you've got to pack up these shelters, move to a solo location, and build a fire all on your own.
On solo day, we have to trek out on our own and do this. We'll be up a creek without a creek.
There's nothing to it but to do it.
There you go.
Oh, man, guys, Mother Nature is showing you some grace this morning. Let's take advantage of the good weather and get these shelters broken down and packed up so that you guys can head out. This morning, I'm going to have these guys break down their shelters, lash them together, and literally carry the entire shelter with them to their solo base camp. All right, guys, you got your shelter stretchers lashed together?
Oh, yeah.
Come in around the fire then. Got each person a fire carry. Each of you have 1 main tinder fungus, and you each have 1 backup. If your main one starts to dwindle and you have to light your backup, that means you'd better start making a fire pronto. Good luck.
It was nice knowing you.
I'll be by later on to check on you.
All right. Just got to find me a good, dry spot.
It'll be light and easy to carry, Creek says.
Perfect.
All right, let's see how we can do this. Grab my big old hunk of mold that's about gone. Dang, this stuff burns quick.
haven't thought of a log cabin fire like 17 years.
Tender bundle, the river cane shavings. Yes. I started building my fire, and it seemed like everything went right. First time for everything. But it just died. Come on, flames. Come on, flames. I was trying to add as many little sticks as I can, and the fire just stopped. This is not looking too good. I just put the fire to the side, said, you know, I'm going to start to build my shelter now. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit. Not going to quit. So I started building the shelter, and I realized that the mylar is ripped, and the shelter is not looking too good. It's just raggedy. It has holes in it. There's no fire. I'm going to freeze. Comparing this to a game, man, something totally different. This is real life. So I start building the shelter. The mylar is ripped. This is raggedy. It has holes in it. There's no fire. I'm going to freeze. I need creek.
You all holed up in your shelter already?
Yep.
We need to do a little bit of work on it.
A little bit is an understatement. I was sort of embarrassed when Creek came up to my shelter, my half a shelter.
You're not going to come into the woods for the first time and be a master, but it's important to me that you walk away from here having picked up some life skills. Not necessarily how to build a fire and not necessarily how to build a shelter, but not giving up on those things.
This experience definitely makes me want to stay committed to anything, you know, that I say I'm going to do or any goal that I say I have.
All right, cool. Let's move on to fire.
Joe survived a week in the woods, sleeping in a tent, wearing the same clothes, you know?
Turn it over, blow on it a little bit. Good.
I can do this. I can do anything.
Good job, buddy.
Have a good night.
All right, man.
Yeah, I just got to be more aware of where I'm stepping because my feet are a little sore today.
I don't want to go back to work. You know how manly it feels when you go to the copy machine and you're like making printouts? No, camping in the woods alone in a tent you built out of twigs. Ha! That's how you feel manly. Feel really good about this.
My brother from another troop. Check it out, dude. You got a walkway. That's awesome.
Well, you know, back in troops, we would name our site.
Sure.
I was wondering if you could help me raise the flag.
Absolutely, man. I'd be honored, dude.
It's the last day, so I took my bottom T-shirt off and I ripped it up.
I can't wait to see this name, dude.
Welcome, my friend, to Utopia.
Oh, my gosh. That's awesome, man. I love it, dude. And I'll tell you what, this is Utopia.
I wanted active, and I got it. For 5 days, I've survived. We've had a genuinely great time.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I'll get out of your hair. I'll let you enjoy your evening.
Thanks again, Creek.
Have a good night, man. Holy mackerel. Is this a survival shelter or a vacation timeshare, man? Oh, my gosh. This is awesome, dude. Can I trade you tonight?
I'll think about it.
You know, so many people use physical discomfort as an excuse not to get up and do something with their lives, man. And there's a lot of people that can take a big lesson from you.
I'm enjoying this a lot, you know. The fact that I've made it almost an entire week and I'm still standing.
This is way more than standing. I mean, this is one of the most impressive solo camps I have ever seen. Awesome freaking job, man.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
A huge inspiration.
I appreciate everything.
This is the most relaxed, the most confident, and just the most exhilarated I have felt in years.
I've been away from my phone. I've been away from my games. I mean, I'm feeling great. I feel accomplished.
I'm definitely going to turn a new leaf, losing some weight and slimming down, because I know that'll definitely help my feet a lot more.
It's going to be one of the better night's sleeps I've had in a long time.
I'm definitely happy to be able to have a chance to get out of these clothes and take a nice shower and get home. It's one for my homies.
My goal was to reconnect with the woods. I feel like I have definitely done that. It felt natural almost immediately. Off to base camp, here I go.
It was a touching experience. It really got to me because this is real, you know, and I did something. I finished what I started, and, you know, I'm feeling great.
This has been real, guys.
Joe, you made it, man. You're alive.
Game over.
Game over. That's right, brother.
How's it going, man?
Opie from Utopia. Welcome back to base camp.
Joe.
How's it going, man?
Finish the game, buddy.
I know.
Well, who do I hear?
Uh-oh.
Like Bigfoot trudging through the woods.
Morning, dude. Well, I tell you what, guys, we have had a crazy week, man. You know, Joe, you were probably the biggest fish out of water in this river valley.
Yeah, man.
You went to the hospital this week.
Yeah.
But you came back.
Yeah.
You know, that speaks volumes about your character. It really does. Congratulations, man, on a job well done this week.
Thank you.
Opie, it was good to spend a week in the wilderness with a fellow Eagle, man. You were a reminder this week that survival can be fun.
Victory!
And that is a huge asset to any survival team. Great job this week, brother. And then there's the big man on campus. You know, at the beginning of the week, man, I thought you were all brawn. Dude, I can't believe you freaking got it. Well, you're not just all brawn, because your solo base camp was one of the coolest I have ever seen. And I can't help but think of the times when I was watching you walk over those rocks and wince. That's a huge inspiration, man, to watch a guy who I know is hurting, push through, and not hold us back.
You know, I was skeptical a few times, but, you know, I just didn't want to quit.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, in those moments when life knocks you back down, I want you to pull out the same exact knife rig that I use.
Wow.
To remind you that you've already beat the odds.
That's awesome, man.
Thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate that. And thank you for everything you taught me.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been so much fun.
On that note, guys, what do you say we get out of here?
Sounds like a plan.
This week, these guys were literally up a creek without a paddle. But they showed that with hard work, innovation, and perseverance, they could not only conquer the wilderness, but whatever obstacles life throws their way.